enjoying this weather and the fact that it is a whole lot less busy than it was on Sunday.
Oh, yeah.
It was absolutely insane, like 2 or 3 times as many people on the streets. But everything started to die down a little bit. But anyhow, like they said, my name is Duck and I will be your tour guide for the first half of the tour. And our horses today out in front, we have Charlie over here on the left and Ree on the right. So everyone say hi, Charlie and Ree.
Hi, Charlie and Ree.
This is their first tour today. They are fresh out of the barn, so they are ready to go. So all full of energy. Try not to run any long honk. My horses don't neigh on command, unfortunately. If it gets real busy, I'll pull out my outdoor voice and yell at people. I might have to do that as I turn here. On the left is Dow's Market. This is our grocery store here on the island. I am going to pull out my adult voice. Hey, folks, horse coming! That's not my full adult voice. I can go louder. Anyway, Dow's Market's the oldest family-owned grocery store in the United States. Opened up in 1884. On the right here, you can find Marquette Park. This is named for Brother Marquette, an early French missionary here to the island. That is a statue of him there in the middle of the park, but it doesn't look like him. Not only because there's a seagull on his head, but also because they never had a likeness of Brother Marquette. He came here in the late 1600s, so when the artist was making that statue, he decided, you know, I don't know what he looks like, I'm just going to model it after the most handsome guy I can find. And that ended up being himself. Charlie Reed. Now this used to be the barnyard and gardens for troops up at Fort Mackinac, which you can see on the hill there. This is originally built by the British during the American Revolution, and it is one of the best preserved forts of its time. You'll have a chance to check it out a little bit later, but for now we are turning onto Market Street, and on the right here is the American Fur Company retail store, aka the Beaumont Museum. Named for Dr. William Beaumont, who was the post physician up at the fort in the early 1800s. And he became famous about 200 years ago when a fur trader named Alexis St. Martin came to him having accidentally shot himself in the stomach. Not a good way to start. And Beaumont was able to save Alexis's life, though he could never quite get the wound to heal right, and Alexis was left with a small hole that went right into his stomach, about the size of a $50. Beaumont didn't think that was a bad thing, though. He saw it as an excellent opportunity to do a little bit of science, and so he started performing experiments on Alexis, doing things like tying food to strings and dipping it in the hole, just to see what would happen. He made a lot of important discoveries about human digestion, has a few hospitals to his name these days, and Alexis himself did well too. He lived to the age of 78, twice the life expectancy back then. Now on the right, we have our United States Post Office. This is an official post office, so you may be wondering, why are you pointing out this post office? I have one of them at home. Ours is a little bit unique because they don't deliver anything. We have a saying here on the island. It goes, rain, snow, sleet, or hail, you come pick up your own darn mail. Residents do have to come and snag everything themselves. Who gets though a little trick, if you want something delivered on the island, just order it via UPS and we will get it to you on a horse-drawn wagon. We are letting these guys go because it is courtesy on the island to let any team of horses going uphill go first, just because sometimes they need the momentum to make it all the way up. So that's a pretty light carriage with not too many people in it. Charlie, get them. Get them. Now, on the right coming up, we have our courthouse and police station. We have 6 to 8 police officers who stay on the island all season long, with a few more that come in the summer, just because of how many visitors we get. Over 10,000 in a busy day, and over 1 million in the season as a whole. Behind it, you can find some big bay doors, and those doors hold Mackinac Island's best kept secret. And can I trust you guys to keep a secret?
Oh yeah.
Yes? Okay, those are our motorized vehicles. Ooh. We do have some, but they're for maintenance and emergency purposes only. Essentially because if your house were on fire, you probably wouldn't want Charlie and Ree here to be the top speed you could reach. But we try to keep them inside when we can because they do tend to spook our horses, and that's why we banned cars originally on the island. Now coming up on the right is the Biddle House. This is the oldest house on the island, dating back to 1780. Built the same time as Fort Mackinac. It's named for Edward Biddle, the guy who bought it back in 1822. He lived there. He was a very important guy here on the island. Acted as sort of a sheriff figure, was pretty widely loved. That house has since been restored and it stands as a museum to the early 1800s when Edward Biddle lived and the Native American tribes of the area. Now on the right we have our medical center here on the island, and this is where you'll want to go if you later get yourself into a bike accident or a little bit of a fudge overdose. We have one doctor on the island who stays here all year, plus a full team of nurses, but their hours are only 9 to 4 Monday through Friday, so they do politely ask that you schedule your medical emergencies between those hours. Now if you look down to the left, these two green and white buildings here are the Twilight and the Windsor. They are old hotels, some say the most haunted buildings on the island, because this is where our cemeteries used to be. They have since moved them a little bit up the hill to an area that's a little bit more quiet and out of the way, a little more space, and they use those buildings now as employee housing for the Grand Hotels, over 600 summer workers. We get a lot of seasonal employees here on the island, 2,000 to 3,000, and a lot of them are college students like myself. I go to Purdue in my spare time. So we're coming to the end of Market Street here, and back in the day, Market Street was Main Street on the island. This is where all of the fur trading happened. We were in a really great location for it.
Wait.
In the middle of the
Right
street,
up on you, baby. You're gonna have to wait. You're right in front of you, honey.
A little bit of a traffic jam here. Anyhow, we're in the middle of the streets of Mackinac, which were and still are a pretty major trade and travel route in the Great Lakes. And people would travel about on the lake with their furs and supplies. Stop by, this is a nice central location to do a little bit of trading. And business boomed for a while until the 1830s when it died down and the fur trade moved further west. And at that point, tourism really started picking up here on the island. And so they moved Main Street down a block to where it is today, so there will be more room for different businesses and restaurants. Now on the right is Chambers Riding Stables, the oldest continually operating barn here on the island. It used to be our taxi office, but we have since moved that up the hill to provide us a little more room. And they use that now as our dedicated wedding horse and carriage barn because we get so many weddings on the island each summer. 200 to 300 is pretty common. Now hanging over the fence there on the left, that is a lilac tree, and one of the oldest lilac trees here on the island. We had some people come out from Michigan State a while back to do a core sample and date it for us. They told us it's about 170 years old. We have a pretty rich history of lilacs here on the island. They were brought over originally by the French to give them a little taste of home. And since then they've done really well here. They like the cooler temperatures that we have and the type of soil. And these days we have about 70 different types and 18 different colors of them here on the island. The most variety of lilacs anywhere in the United States, and we are very proud of them. Now if you like lilacs and gardening, there are a few shops down on Market Street that sell cuttings from local trees here on the island. Now if y'all are sitting here thinking, wow, Duck, your job looks like fun, or maybe I can do a better job than you, Duck, you can try your hand at it down the street there at Jack's Livery Stables, where you can rent out a little one-horse buggy and learn to drive yourself around the island. They'll give you about a 10-minute crash course on how not to crash a carriage. And just for reference, my training period for this job was about a week and a half. So if you can learn to drive in 10 minutes, maybe even 15, my boss will probably just give you my job. We're coming up to Little Stone Church, this next building on the right. This was built back in 1904 out of limestone. It was quarried right here on the island. Though when we pass the front, you can see some stained glass windows. Those come from New York City, and they depict early missionary work. This is one of our most popular wedding venues on the island. We get a lot that come through here. Oh, looks like the wheel finally fell off the carriage in front of us. That's not going to easy kids. But we get a lot of weddings that come through this building in particular. They are available for weddings and downwheels all season long. So if you guys meet someone today you want to spend the rest of your life with, go on in there. Get married. Why have a shotgun wedding in Vegas when you could have it here on Mackinac? They've told me not to tell that joke anymore. Mostly because I am single-handedly responsible for 18 weddings on the island this season alone. And 17 divorces. Last one though, it was about 4 hours ago. So we'll see how long it lasts. Now if you look down towards the lake now, you'll be able to see a playground there next to our public school. That's where our island's permanent residents go to school. There's about 500 total permanent residents, and in there they had 58 students this year in grades K through 12. Their graduating class was just 5, which I think would make senior prom a little bit awkward. But not quite as awkward as the year that there were 2 graduating seniors, and they were siblings.
Oh, dear.
Those numbers are true, but they'll generally invite neighboring schools to join them for their prom. Hi, Mason. Now, a lot of people ask me, hey, Doc, do you live here on the island? And while I work here, yes, I do. My house is actually the big white one up on the hill there. It's kind of hiding behind trees, but you get the picture. It has 11 bedrooms. If you guys are looking to extend your stay here on the island, you could probably fit everyone in there somehow. I'm kidding. That's the Michigan governor's summer residence. It's the honor of the current governor of Michigan to take that house up and enjoy the island here. It was built back in 1902 by a Chicago lawyer and then sold to the state in 1945 when he went broke. But he was clever and he put a little clause in the bill of sale that essentially said that if that house ever got sold again, it would have to go back to his family, his descendants, for the original construction cost of just $15,000. So I do think the state's going to hang on to that one for a little while longer. Now on the left, of course, is the Grand Hotel here. This is the world's largest summer hotel and has the longest covered porch there at 660 feet. It's got about 80 rocking chairs out there where you can sit and enjoy the day. And as we go by, you can see some of the flower beds here. They're currently filled in with their summer flowers, doing a little bit of work on them now. This first one has a pineapple in it. That is the international symbol of hospitality. They placed it there at the entrance so that everyone knows that they're welcome. A few weeks ago, this was all completely filled in with tulips. They have since taken those out and replaced them with their summer flowers, something they do about 3 times each season, just to make sure they always have something in bloom here. Come on, kids. Now, we've had 2 different movies filmed here at the Grand Hotel. Does anybody know what those are?
Somewhere in Time.
Bingo, yeah. That's the one everyone seems to know. It was filmed back in 1979, starring Jane Seymour and Christopher Reeve, aka Superman. And the other one, not as many people know that one. It is called This Time for Keeps, filmed in 1946, released in 47, starring a young Jane Seymour and, a young Esther Williams. We were stopping to let them catch their breath. Esther Williams was an Olympic swimmer, and we have named our swimming pool in her honor. Now, each of those 2 movies has a room dedicated to it in the Grand Hotel, just a couple of the 388 total. Each one of them completely uniquely decorated, no 2 that are quite alike. And there are a lot of fun themed rooms, like the movie ones, 7 different suites designed by former First Ladies of the United States, a Mackinac room. I was talking to someone the other day who was staying in a room that was themed kind of like an ice cream parlor. So, really, a lot of cool stuff. But when the Grand Hotel opened originally, it was about half the size that it is now. Just 185 rooms. This was back in 1887. Does anybody have a guess at how long it took them to build the original part of the hotel?
93 days?
93 days. Why would you say that? That's so short. And also completely correct. 3 months, 93 days. It was built by 2 railroads and a steamship line. They wanted people to, come to their hotel, travel up here using their trains and boats, of course. They got very excited about the idea. They started putting the cart before the horse, and they took reservations before they actually built the thing. So it comes to within a few months of opening date, and they realize they're in trouble. So the bosses go to their workers and say, hey, you guys have 90 days to get this done. And the workers said, no, we won't do that. That's ridiculous. And so then the bosses said, well, what if we gave you $1 million as a bonus if you got it done on time? And the workers said, you know what? That sounds good. So they started going. They worked basically 24/7 around the clock, around 607 total. They were doing their fastest, but maybe not their best work. Because you see, they built from the outside in. And when they met in the middle, they realized their measurements were off by about 6 inches. And they didn't have time to fix it, so they figured, you know what, we'll just carpet it over and hope that nobody notices. But we've noticed. But they were on track to finish that hotel within the original 90 days when they got to work one morning, caught word of a rumor And that rumor was that they were never going to see a cent of that $1 million. It existed, but it was going to be for their bosses. They were going to take all of it if the hotel was done on time. And so then some mysterious things started happening. Some tools went missing, walls fell down, fires broke out. By the time all of those resolved and the hotel was built, it was at 93 days. And so the workers didn't get a cent of that money, but neither did any of their bosses. Now, the question that I ask myself is why didn't they just burn down the whole hotel, which is, I think, what I would have done. I would have been pretty upset about losing that amount of money. But I suppose I'm glad they're not, because otherwise the Grand Hotel might not be here today. And they do also have a golf course. You saw the front nine as we came up. Back nine's all the way out in the woods. And this here is their pro shop where you can start your golfing adventure. They have everything you need in there. Shirts, jackets, pants, golf bags, golf balls, tees, and socks. The socks are interesting though. They sell them only in sets of 3. That's just in case you get a hole in one. You can laugh. You can even say boo if you think that's more appropriate. Thank you. I'm very proud of it. As we continue on, if you look behind the Grand Hotel, you'll see the roof and awning there, that yellow and white bit for a different house. It's a separate property than the Grand, but it is theirs, and in fact, it is their most expensive room per night. It's their honeymoon suite, the Mackinac cottage. And it comes with a personal chef, a private horse-drawn carriage for wherever you may need to go, and it has 4 bedrooms. Now, you may be wondering, why do I need 4 bedrooms for my honeymoon suite? That's kind of a lot. Well, I don't know, I guess you've got a couple extra rooms in case you'd like to bring the in-laws along, or maybe a room for a lawyer in case you're worried it won't work out quite so well. You've got a few different options there. I know we're gonna continue up and pass by a driveway over here on the left. As we go by, if you look up that driveway, you may be searching for something exciting or interesting or cool, but you will not find it. There's nothing up there anymore. That used to be the Grand Hotel stables a number of years ago, but they were doing a little bit of construction work on it, and over the course of that realized that their foundation was in really bad shape. And so they thought, you know what? We can't keep our horses here anymore because it's no longer stable. Bad horse joke for the day. Got a golf one, got a horse one. I think we've checked all the boxes. And they did have to relocate their barns. And it's the big green and red one all the way up the hill there. That's where they keep their horses. They got some draft horses like Charlie and Ray here that pull their shuttles. And also some hackney horses, which are a lot smaller. They're very, very elegant and pick up their feet very high when they trot. If you ever see them, are lucky enough to see them go by, that's a horse that knows that it looks good. Very fancy and honestly a treat to see. Also up in the barn they have about 20 antique carriages and a museum. All of them perfect working condition, so much so that we could walk Charlie and Rhea in there, hitch them up to a carriage and roll it right out. That is something the Grand does on occasion for special events, guests at the Mackinac cottage up their private horse and carriage, sometimes just to show off, because they do look real good. If you guys are interested in that, you think it sounds cool, it is. You can go up there, it's completely free, no sort of entry fee or anything like that, and we'll be up that way in a little bit. We're going to sit here for a second longer and let Charlie and Reed catch their breaths, because even though this is their first tour of the day, this is a pretty big hill, and they're doing a lot of work for us. We want to make sure they can get a bit of a rest here. We try and take good care of our horses on the island, so we rest them on the hill each time, and they also only work 4 to 5 hours a day. So I started out the morning with a different team. Their names are Fritz and Jeffrey. They pulled me a few tours this morning, and then they got switched out. They're spending the rest of the afternoon hanging out in the barn. And Charlie and Ree, this is their first time out today. We call that a switch team. It's how we keep our horses from having to work too much. We also make sure they're well fed. You will not find a skinny horse here on the island. They get unlimited access to hay, water, and a salt lick in the barn, and about 3 gallons of oats a day. So quite a lot. I was going to go there, but we got some saddle horses going by us, and we don't want to be tailgating them, as it were, so go by. I always like to see and compare just how small their feet are compared to our horses, just how teeny tiny they are. But a lot of us drivers also like to baby our horses and give them treats, so I have an apple in my lunch that I'm going to give to Charlie and Ree later. And carrots are also very popular. Those are classics, but a lot of horses I found also have a sweet tooth. I've met horses that like Twizzlers, peppermints, even Jolly Ranchers, specifically the watermelon ones. I don't know why. I like the peppermints the best because you feed them to the horses, they'll bite into them, and then their breath will smell already fresh for a little bit. Oh, and now here comes Gene.
Guys, it's a ride with this bicycle.
Alright, and when Gene gets far enough ahead of us, we will go. Gotta wait to merge back into the traffic. We gotta put our blinker on. Alright, it's clear, let's go. Come on, kids. Charlie.
Say no.
Oh, you're gonna take us through the trees, kids. Alright. So, you will see a lot of bikes that come down this hill if you sit up here. Some of them going at a very reasonable speed using their brakes. Some of them going a little bit too fast. You can reach speeds of 40 to 50 miles an hour on this hill. I think the record is 53 if you go down without your brakes. Now, before you hop off my carriage thinking that sounds like fun, I will warn you there's a few problems with that. One, it is kind of dangerous. You know, going down the hill that fast, you hit a rock, you're going to go flying, and that's not going to end well. Two, it is technically illegal. We have a speed limit on the island. It is 25 miles an hour, and it is enforced. So the police, one of their favorite pastimes is to sit down in the middle of that hill, clock people going by, and if they catch you going too fast, they can and will give you a reckless endangerment ticket for $100.
Whoa.
Now if you decide, oh, I can pay that much, that's fine, I want some of these, be warned that if you get it 3 times, they can go ahead and put some points on your driver's license. That'll be on your permanent record. But I guess that's a fun story to tell at parties.
Yeah.
We're now coming up to an intersection here we call Four Corners. It is the busiest on the island because it'll take you anywhere you need to go. You saw downtown where we came from. To the right will take you to the governor's residence in Fort Mackinac. A little further. To the left takes you to the back nine of the Grand Hotel's golf course and our small airport. And then straight ahead gets you to Harrisonville, which is where most of our year-round residents live. They live up there because it's a little bit warmer. Not quite so cold in the winter, more protected from the winds. And also, if you sit up here and listen, a lot quieter than it is downtown. Not as much chaos going on. They got a lot more room to spread out. And then right ahead of us is our barnyard. This first barn, Taxi Barn, houses our veterinarian's office. And in comparison to our one human doctor on the island, we have 4 veterinarians with 2 on call at 24/7 at any point in time. Now, if you remember, our doctor's hours are only 9 to 4 Monday through Friday, so you can see where our true priorities lie here on the island. Our vets see all of the horses on the island, not just the ones that we own, plus all of the pets of the permanent residents as well. It's housed within Taxi Barn here, which is where we house, surprisingly enough, our taxi horses. Their service operates 24/7, 365 days a year, so if it is 3 a.m. Christmas morning, you need a ride up from town, we will come and get you. But I'll warn you, our taxis are not the same as you're used to. For one, they don't have doors. The windows are metaphorically always down, and there is not a heater. So I always like to warm up with a bunch of eggnog before I continue on. So just be warned of that. But with our taxi service running all year, that does mean we keep horses on the island all season long. Most of them go off island though, and that is a matter of food because these guys eat a lot. They are constantly bringing in hay and oats from the boat, which works out well until the lake freezes over and the boats can't get through. And at that point, we send most of our horses off island to our farms in the Upper Peninsula. They've got a little bit easier access to food there, and they stay plenty well fed. Charlie, read. We keep 18 to 24 taxi and dray horses here, which is a small enough number that they can pretty easily stockpile food for them. They stay well fed too. And they come on and off the island just like you guys do, which is by the boat. Our airport is not quite big enough to fit a plane that could fit them. The biggest thing you can get down there is a small private jet. I would love to see us try and cram Charlie and Ray into one of them. Don't think it would go well. Now on the right is one of our antique fire carriages. Pretty self-explanatory. Pull that out to a fire, bring those ladders out, try and rescue people. So I'm not quite sure how well it went because those ladders are made out of wood. It's not the best material to use when trying to fight a fire. Come on, kids. This next farm we're going past here is Middle Farm, where our 3-horse teams live. They are the largest on the island, and some of them weigh up to 2,500 pounds. Some of them coming in there for their switch of the day. And they pull the largest passenger carriages in the world. They hold 35 people plus the driver. And if you're familiar with the RV and camper company Jayco, they make those for us. They originally made us 20. You can see a 3-horse team getting ready to go up there. They originally made us 20, only gave us 19, and they don't seem to want to admit what happened to the other one. So if you guys happen to see it on eBay or Facebook Marketplace, please let us know because we do want it back. Zeus, yeah. Zeus is still on the island. He is with a horse named Isaiah now. Zeus, I had heard that Zeus is 19 too, but I think the sign in the grand stable say he's not quite that tall. Zeus is one of our tallest horses here. Other contenders include, we have a horse named Jack who's very tall, Vinny, and it's Judge. Fern and Judge. Very tall horses, standing up at 18, maybe even 19 hands. And one hand is 4 inches. So, horse at 19 hands stands at almost 80 inches tall. And that's measured at their withers, the height of their shoulder, the very top there. So, standing at almost 7 feet there. Kids. Alright. Yeah, good question. I have not seen Isaiah and Zeus out today, but they're some of the horses that drive the Grand Hotel shuttles. They have 3 teams, a white team, Isaiah and Zeus, a dapple gray team, Jake and Owen, and then a black team. Their names are Rock and Roll. Hi, Ree. So we have, all 3 of them are Percherons. That's one of the main breeds of horses we have here on the island. The other one is Belgian. So this is an example of Belgian, a couple of Belgians here on the left. I think that is Cooper and Harvey. So they come in that color. You know, they're usually brown with a blonde mane and tail. And then our Percherons are the other main breed, and they come in 3 different colors. So we got a bunch of examples of dapple grays here. So Charlie and Ree, Jake and Owen there. They also come in black and white. And the fun thing about our dapple gray horses is that all of them, they were born black. They were not this color when they were born, but they have a gene that causes them to dapple out, fade in color. So you can see Charlie is about 8, and you can see kind of on his legs, he's still a lot darker than Ree is on hers. So he's still kind of fading, and that happens over time. Eventually both of these guys will be white. But some horses don't have it, and some horses, they're born black and they'll stay black for the rest of their lives. We don't have any Clydesdales here on the island. They're very pretty, and that's about all they're good for, at least in terms of practical work. They don't have the same strength and stamina that our Belgians and Percherons do. Yeah, do you guys have any other questions? This is normally where I ask for them, because we're kind of getting to the end of my part of the tour. If there's something that I didn't talk about that you wanted to hear about, like, feel free to ask. This is the time. When does a horse retire? That depends on the individual horse. It's usually in their late teens or early 20s. But they'll work for us until they show us that they can't do this heavy of work anymore. It's a lot of work. And at that point, they get retired, oftentimes to farms just looking to have a retired draft horse to do a little bit of light work. And these guys do like to work. They get kind of sad if they're not pretty regularly pulling or being able to roam around in the field. So Charlie is about 8. He's kind of still a baby, and Ree's a little bit older. I'd say she's 12 or 13 or so. Don't get yourself stuck, babe. We start working them usually 6 to 8, and we have a couple unique circumstances here. So a lot of people ask, like, are any of your horses born on the island? No, they aren't. We for the most part do not breed any of our horses. Here comes the 3-horse team. We don't breed any of our horses. We buy them. Every once in a while we buy a pregnant mare and then have a foal. Charlie is the product of that. He was born on our farms and we raised him. Something that else a lot of people ask is, do your horses work in the same teams together all the time? And they usually do. But we have another exception up in front of us. So my morning team, Fritz and Jeffrey, they have been together for I don't even know how long before we got them. But as of last week, the teams were Charlie and Tony and Mason and Ree. We found that Charlie and Ree were the slower of the pair. They always kind of lagged behind. So we put them together, and then we put the faster two, Mason and Tony. So we're just kind of testing something out right now, seeing if that's a little bit better fit for them. And it's working out. I haven't driven Mason and Tony, but I do like these two as a pair. pretty well matched. They're also well matched in color. Mason and Tony are both black horses as well, so it's really kind of a nice switch. But yeah, any other questions before we head off?
How big is the island?
How big is the island? It is 8.2 miles around, 4.35 square miles in total. About 80% of that land is state park. Alright. Charlie and Reed. I'm gonna get out of the bushes. I'm just giving you guys a nice taste of the forest right now. Alright, at this point I do have some important things to say regarding the second half of your tour, namely that there is a second half of your tour. Some people get on my carriage and they don't realize that. They're like, so can we go back downtown now? And I'm like, you can, but you're missing out on the best part of the tour. So you'll get on one of those big 3-horse carriages to go around in the state park. You'll see some cool stuff like the cemeteries where they've moved to, Skull Cave, Arch Rock, Fort Mackinac. And when you're ready to do that, you go to the back of this white building, show them your ticket, and they'll get you on the next available carriage. Those leave every 15 minutes or so. But there is no specific carriage you guys have to hop onto, so you can spend a little bit of time up here exploring if you'd like. So you can check out our butterfly conservatory back there, the Wings of Mackinac, the blacksmith shop down there, Forge and Memory, where Chap Osborne and his crew from Forged and Fire make a whole bunch of knives and other cool things out of steel. And then the Grand Hotel stables that I mentioned earlier, if you guys are interested in those, again, completely free of charge. But the building I will drop you off at here has restrooms, hot coffee, and donuts inside. Donuts are very good, as well as a couple more antique carriages, including our horse-drawn hearse, which we do still have in use these days. But there's the Butterfly House, and then the then the Wings of Mackinac. They're separate businesses. Yeah. The 3-horse wagons leave every 15 to 20 minutes.
Cool. Cool.
Oh, this is fun. Up like that.
Yeah. What?
80 images of your entire tour, in all 4 seasons, and your 2 carriage photos.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So we get all that.
We get all these cool pictures.
Yeah.
Of all the things you're gonna see too.
Yeah.
Which are probably pretty professional looking.
Yeah. It's pretty sweet. All that stuff.
I like how these postcards are crazy.
Oh. Oh yeah. What's the walking down the hill? We're gonna check out this forge. It's Devo down here.
Oh, they mentioned, did you hear what they said at the end? We both were like, ooh, forged by fire.
Oh, forged in fire, yeah.
Forged in fire, did I say by?
Yeah, yeah.
Sorry guys, forged in fire.
Gazebo over there.
Yeah. You didn't even have this camera last year, Jim.
Nope.
Now you're recording all of our memories. Every single thing.
You can forge a memory over here.
Yeah, we can. It says so.
Yeah.
A lot of fat tires. A lot of fat tires. My favorite line is a lot of fatties on fat
The
tires.
Grand Hotel, Mackinac Island.
Carriage tours.
There's tours.
Okay, we'll go in whatever area whoever wants. Don't slip in the mud, please. Okay.
Look at that. Which way should we go through?
You pick. This way.
Go in that?
This way.
That way? Yeah. Wow.
The wealthy families, Jim.
Yeah. see how the other half does it.
Yeah. You can scan a QR code and watch a video on it.
Huh. Oh, with your phone?
Yep. It's like old school meets like new. It's like scan a QR code.
Yeah.
Wait, I want to do that. I want to see that.
Yeah, check it out.
I'm going to do it.
Can we just
Oh, is it working?
wait, what about this one? Ruth, number one. Number two.
Yeah, Jim, I got it if you want to watch.
Okay. Is it working?
Specifically on the Victoria.
Another of the Studebaker carriages here. This is a Victoria, named after Queen Victoria, the Victorian period. But Queen Victoria favored these carriages. Now, this one in particular was made for the Studebaker family, was used right in South Bend, just from the state sale, and originally presented 15
That's Studebaker carriage. 1890.
Yeah. This was you delivered the. Rings. Oh, they're. Oh, see, I don't even have to click on it.
Oh, it's got all of
Yeah.
them.
Here,
That's
this is about
neat.
this one.
This carriage was used to deliver the ransom in one of the first headline-worthy kidnappings in the United States.
Kidnapping.
Eddie Cudahy in December.
A ransom buggy.
Oh.
December of 1900 was kidnapped. His father was given a ransom note that was to be delivered was to be a sum of $25,000 and $20 gold pieces. It was supposed to be Fremont Road.
Wow. Wow, this is neat. It's cool. Cool.
Here, Joe, what's your picture in front of it?
For the Grand Hotel one?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Alright. Cool. How the butterflies fly. Yes, butterflies can fly. It's about 30 miles an hour. You gotta get these stacks on camera.
Oh, 30 miles an hour? Wow.
nectars, overripe fruits, manure, and minerals, and salt, and
Here we go. Crazy. Let's try to follow it by now.
Cool. This is like good.
You gonna keep walking?
Did you do that combination
Yeah.
one? Ooh, can you get zoom in on one? Like, I should do that.
Yeah, you did have a good one.
Those are mushrooms.
Wow, look at that.
That's a little house. It says planting and garden, open, sunny location. Variety of nectar plants for butterflies with a large catching color and plants that caterpillars eat. Well, I don't know if anyone actually lives in there. Where? On the sign? What does that one say?
Cool.
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah, it's a butterfly.
Man, I've never been around this many butterflies.
Yeah.
For safety, he's now over or under the plane for safety.
Cool.
Oh, I won't leave me alone.